Hey there, coin enthusiasts and collectors. Welcome back to Mara, your one-stop channel for everything about coins, their history, and their values. Today, we have an exciting topic for you: the Philippines 25 centavo coin from 1983. This little piece of Filipino history is still around, circulating in the country, and we're going to dive into its story, design, and value. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, this video has got something for you. Let's get started. First, let's take a closer look at the 25 centavo coin from 1983. If you're familiar with Philippine currency, you'll know that the 25 centavo coin is an essential part of the country's coinage system. This coin was minted during a fascinating period in Philippine history, the time of President Ferdinand Marcos's regime, which is important to understand its context. Now, let's break down the design of this 1983 coin. On the obverse side, we have the iconic coat of arms of the Philippines, featuring the national symbols, like the eagle and the sun. The coat of arms is surrounded by the text Republica ng Pilipinas, which translates to Republic of the Philippines. This side is often considered a powerful symbol of the country's sovereignty and heritage. On the reverse side, we see the 25 denomination prominently featured, with the number 25 flanked by two laurel branches. The laurel symbolizes honor and victory, while the overall design of this side is clean, classic, and easy to identify. You'll also notice the mint year 1983 at the bottom. And just like the obverse, this side is simple yet rich in symbolism. Now that we've examined its design, let's get to the juicy part: its value. The Philippines 25 centavo coin from 1983 is often sought after by collectors because of its historical significance, but what about its actual circulated value today? In general, a 1983 25 centavo coin in circulated condition is worth between Cuban peso 1 and Cuban peso 5. It's a very affordable coin, but its value depends on several factors, like the condition it's in and whether it has any special characteristics, like errors or rare minting features. Coins that are in unblemished or mint condition could fetch higher values, particularly for collectors who are looking for well-preserved pieces to add to their collection. Some collectors also like to seek out coins from specific years that are harder to find, and 1983 isn't as rare as some others, but it does have a historical significance due to the time period. For those of you who are interested in building a more comprehensive Philippine coin collection, the 1983 25 centavo coin is a great addition. It represents a specific era, bridging the transition from the Marcos administration to the post-Marcos era. This makes it both historically and culturally significant. Remember though, the value of this coin can fluctuate. If you happen to have a proof or uncirculated 1983 25 centavo coin, its value could rise considerably, ranging from Cuban peso 10 to Cuban peso 50 or even higher if you're lucky and depending on the collector demand. Coin collectors always recommend checking the condition of the coin first. Coins with signs of wear and tear, like scratches, discoloration, or denting, are typically valued on the lower end of the spectrum. But if you have one that's in excellent condition, it could be a little treasure worth more. To protect your coins and increase their longevity, it's always a good idea to store them properly. Use protective cases or albums made specifically for coins. This helps to preserve their condition and, ultimately, their value. So, if you've got a 1983 25 centavo coin hanging around in your collection or your spare change jar, take a closer look. You might just have a small piece of Philippine history worth holding on to. To truly appreciate the 1983 25 centavo coin, we need to take a journey back in time. So, let's talk about the historical context of this coin, and why it's not just a piece of currency. It's a snapshot of a very unique period in the Philippines' history. The Philippines in 1983 was a country going through significant social and political change. The 1980s were a pivotal decade, with the country under the rule of President Ferdinand Marcos, who had been in power since 1965. By 1983, however, his regime was starting to show signs of instability, as public dissent and political pressure grew. The country was on the cusp of great change, which would eventually culminate in the People Power Revolution of 1986. The 1983 25 centavo coin was issued as part of the new central bank coin series, which began in the early 1970s. This coin series featured various denominations and was designed to reflect the country's national symbols and identity. The 25 centavo coin from 1983, however, is particularly notable because of the time in which it was issued, just a few years before the Marcos administration came to an end. Designed by Manuel T. Baltimore, this coin featured the Philippine coat of arms on the obverse, symbolizing national pride and sovereignty. The reverse side of the coin featured the value, 25 foot, framed by two laurel branches, a symbol of honor and victory. While these designs were relatively standard for coins in the Philippines during this era, they also served as reminders of the nation's strength and unity, especially during a time of political unrest. Now, the political climate in the early 1980s was tense. President Marcos had declared martial law in the early 1970s, a period that lasted until 1981, but his authoritarian grip on power remained strong. In 1983, opposition leader Benigno Aquino Jr. was tragically assassinated upon returning to the Philippines after years of exile. His death was a turning point, sparking widespread protests and civil unrest, leading to calls for reform and, eventually, for the end of Marcos's rule. So, why does this coin matter in all of this? Well, the 1983 25-centavo coin marks a moment in time when the country was gearing up for a change. The design, the currency, the new central bank series, these were all part of the nation's daily life as they navigated through an increasingly uncertain political environment. Just 3 years later, in 1986, the Philippines would experience one of the most significant events in its history, the People Power Revolution. This non-violent movement led to the overthrow of Ferdinand Marcos and the restoration of democracy in the country. Interestingly, after the revolution, the 25-centavo coin from 1983 continued to circulate for years. But by the early 1990s, the Philippine government began phasing out the older coins, including those from the new central bank series, in favor of more modern and durable designs. The 25-centavo coin, along with other coins from the same period, became part of a historical legacy, not just of the nation's currency, but of a time when the country was on the edge of transformative change. Today, the 1983 25-centavo coin isn't just valuable because of its metal content or circulating history. It carries with it a story of political struggle, national pride, and the resilience of the Filipino people. It's a tangible piece of history that reminds us how far the Philippines has come. So, next time you hold a 1983 25-centavo coin, remember, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a little slice of history, reflecting the struggles and triumphs of the Filipino people during a remarkable time. What are your thoughts about this coin and its place in Philippine history? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode on the 1983 Philippines 25-centavo coin and its value. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful and hit the subscribe button for more coin-related content. And if you've got any questions or thoughts on the 1983 25-centavo or any other coins, drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time, and keep on collecting.